Hi, my name is Daniel Nilsson. I'm a skills management, skills intelligence, skills taxonomy expert. I work with a lot of customers all over the world. I created hundreds of different skills taxonomies, and I helped everything from DB Schenker to Questrade to all type of organizations of all sizes. And today I will give you my process of what I do when I have a new client. You can use my process if you're maybe installing MatchSkills for the first time, but it's also actually really good if you want to review and reprocess everything. Now, if you're listening to this video, remember that you can contact us if you need help at any time. There's always a little chat icon in the bottom right, both on our website and in our product. Just contact us and we will help you with anything you may need. But I hope that this will give you a lot of advice and a lot of ideas on how you can build up your perfect skills taxonomy and definition of skills for role, competence areas, departments, and teams. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I do, like step number one, when I'm working with a new client, is to really get to know that client. I spend time reading the webpage, understanding all the product services, what is being delivered. I review the organization chart. I get all the different roles and everything else. So important information to have also for you when you're building this for your organization. The next thing I do is to kind of remember the key of everything. The key is that if I'm going to help this organization to be more productive, have more quality, I need to make sure the formula you see right now on the screen, it works. I have to make sure it's very easy for everybody to understand how can I connect the right people, the right skills, and the right skill levels for the job at hand, whatever that job have to be. It could be a job role, but it could also be the skills required for a department to function really well, or the department or the entire company. So all these things matters. Additional things to consider, like when we are creating all these lists of skills, I kind of keep in mind like all the things that are going to happen. You see, we also have the managers, all these managers that is like looking at their employees and they can use this data to better understand each employee and their team. But it's also a lot of recruiters, like they will actually look at the roles we defined and how they are hanging together and what skills are required for each role. And there are a lot of other things. I want to go through them here quickly. So for me, when I'm defining all this stuff, it is about clarity, to clearly define clarity and expectations of a role. It's about recruitment in general. Like when I see all the skills, it's very easy for me to understand where our gaps are. And sometimes that gap is a recruitment that we need to do. I want to also promote appropriate behaviors. We want a safe work environment. We want to be maybe good problem solver. We want to be innovative. These are behaviors and skills that I want to emphasize on and lift in the organization. Of course, it's also about employee development. Employees that develop themselves, or at least consider to develop themselves, they're growing, they feel better. They are more productive and they're happy at the workplace. It's a very, very important process. Also, it's about feedback and coaching. When we are adding skills, things to different places, it will remind people that this is a subject and we can do feedback and coaching based on that. For example, when you're doing your one-on-ones or anything else. Also, we have general skill gap analysis. We want to understand, our gaps and recruitment opportunities. We want to maybe upskill a team based on these gaps. And of course, constantly connect everything to career development. So let's get started on how it works. If you just install MatchSkills, I just want to highlight there is a list of skills already. So quickly, what is list of skills and skills taxonomy? And Daniel, what do you mean with all this? Look, there are crazy amount of skills in the world. Like MatchSkills actually have a list of 70,000 skills, 12,000 skills, 6,600 certifications, and probably more. This is great, but we want to create a list that is focused. And we do this because we want to create something that's easier to understand. And once again, promote these behaviors, promote these skills that we know are essential for the organization. Then there are, of course, many, many other skills, but we don't need to have every skill. We just need the ones that are important for our business, meaning our mission, vision for our customers, for our organization to work well. So that's what we want to focus on. And some people call this a skills taxonomy, meaning that you have selected the skills you want to focus on. So skills taxonomy. Some people will mention the skills ontology. This is like you have a large list of skills, like crazy large, and much skills actually comes included with this. But we do know of all the insane amount of installations we've done that you will be more successful by focusing first on a taxonomy to make sure that you can get out data, to get out appropriate behaviors, to help people understand recruitment, to kind of unify everybody around a language that we all use. So that's the taxonomy. When you install Match Skills, the taxonomy will be there and you can go to team, org, and settings and manage skills, and this is the taxonomy. Match Skills is insanely flexible, so there are many opportunities here, but I will try to explain the basics. There are something called essential human skills. This is soft culture and behavior skills. We put that into one bucket, and it's like one box or one list of skills. And you can see here, you can see its name, and you can see also the descriptor of each one. You can easily add new ones just by typing down here. So you could go in and just start typing, and it will come up with different alternatives automatically from our mega database. Like agile methodology. If the skill is already in your own taxonomy, you will actually see the name here from the list that defines it. So the same skill can be in many different lists. So please hang in with me here. I know there's a lot of information. So here's essential human skills. We have global skills. We need a kind of like a category where we can collect all these skills that everybody use, like project management, literally in every department. But then my recommendation is to don't like create skills for departments, because what will happen? Your company will evolve. You will buy other companies. You will merge, and you will change names of everything. We don't want this kind of complexity. We want something that works from now on and forever. So what we recommend in general, just create areas of expertise like dev and tech and design and product, cloud and infrastructure, data, HR and learning. Like then maybe you call your HR department something else like people and culture. Yeah, then go in and change them if you think that's suitable, because it most likely will not change. But be careful here with subjects. Make sure you divide them a little bit and have good ways to kind of talk about these different subjects of expertise. As you can see, here is a long list, and these are all the different things that comes automatically when you install Match Skills. You could review this list, and if you like it, it's really good. On this specific page where you're watching this video, we do offer this entire taxonomy as an Excel sheet, so it's easy for you to review. This makes it possible for you to review everything here. You can look at everything, and you can also quickly search. So that's actually what I usually do. Like, I'm like, oh, do we have problem solving? And I'm like, oh yeah, here is problem solving. Easy. We also created these little tabs here. So you would have each category, and you would have the name and the descriptor. So it's like very clear everything how it looks like. If you continue, you can also go here and see that we do have additional little categories here that are not currently in the taxonomy you just installed. Like, for example, IT security specialization, finance, cybersecurity, marketing and creative, and so on. It's because maybe these are not so common. And if you go back to Match Skills, you can actually create a new skill category. So let's call it IT security. You could add a little icon if you want to. So let's use this strong man thing here, or strong woman. And then I click save and continue, and you can use something called add a template. So here you would have different templates. So let's do IT. Actually, you can see it here, but I will still filter a little bit. So IT security specialization, you can use the template, and it will automatically add the most common like skills when it comes to IT security. And you can review, and you can decide, you can mark these, maybe want to delete them, or you can just add something. So all these options exist here. And this is now added. If you want this to be higher up, you can move it up like this, and you can place it, for example, just under cloud and infrastructure. Perfect. I'm really happy about it. If you want to, you can also add a little descriptor here, so you can say, IT security is something. Perfect. So this is how it looks like. If I now have a process with a client, usually I would go in here, and my job is to kind of clean this up and make it better. So I usually would go here and I review this, and I'm kind of like, okay, do we really need all these skills? Or are there maybe some skills missing? When I review a list, I kind of keep this like struct way to do it. I know there's a lot of text here, but you can download this document with everything. But usually if I add a new skill, I mark it green. If something should be removed, I mark it red. And if something that we need to discuss, I mark it blue. So green, red, blue. That makes it really easy to review this list, both for you, but you can send this list to others. So for example, if you work together with your CTO and some other people, you can all review the same list together and discuss back and forward and easily mark what should be removed, what should be added, and maybe what needs to be discussed. So nice way to do this. If you have a category like missing, like maybe you are an organization that are focused on CO2 capturing technologies or something like that, yeah, a lot of these categories is not relevant to you. Just remove the categories and build your own category of CO2 capturing technologies. My recommendation is to use AI to do this, like technologies like ChatGPT or Gemini. And you can ask it to analyze your company, to create a list of skills, and you can view it and you can simply add it and ask AI to create all the descriptors. What you do is that you just make a copy of this category, you remove everything you don't need, and just type in everything and add it. Once you're done, you can import it easily to MatchSkills. Just click File and Download, but maybe we should do a category we don't have, so let's do it from the beginning. So we go here, let's do cybersecurity. Actually, finance is better. So we click File, Download, comma-separated file. So perfect, it's downloaded. Then I go back to MatchSkills, create a new skill category, call it finance, add it. And here's 3 little dots. Tap here, upload CSV file, and downloads, and we can upload it. And we're now uploading this new nice category with all the different skills in it. So this is how you can do it in this way. And once again, we can organize it and put it where we want it. So I always spend some time and energy here. The next thing you can do is to make sure that you kind of done this right. I always spend time adding new roles. So I take the list of roles we have, and sometimes I create them in a sheet like this. So I would say, well, okay, product manager. I would define the most important skill, the skill category, and the priority skill. And do I do this manually? Yeah, sometimes I actually do it manually, but most easy way to do it is using AI. You can use AI inside MatchSkills, or you can use AI using a ChatGPT prompt or AI prompt. I will show you first how we do it in MatchSkills. If you have already uploaded your entire taxonomy, you added all your skills, MatchSkills can handle it easily. All you have to do is go back to MatchSkills and go to something called Analysis. So let's say I want to create a new role here. I'm like, I want to have a product manager, actually. That's perfect. So I click product, you can just type in here, please create the role product manager with focus on SaaS product that we provide. So you here, when you have a job role, you can either just paste in the job role or job description. You could write like I'm doing right now. Remember with AI, like you really need to put in as much descriptors as possible. And you can even add the skills that are really important for you. So like, yeah, whatever that may be. Like, and I think problem solving is super important skill to have, like this, for example. You just click the little button here, and then it will go in and start working. So it's product manager with SaaS focus, but I want to remove this, like that was more like a descriptor. So I remove that. So product manager looks nice. Skills tailored for professional aiming to excel in product management with focus on SaaS solutions. Perfect. So I click save and continue. What AI does now that it will analyze and will only use the skills. So this is very important. It will only use the skills we have in our taxonomy, the list of skills that we talked about, the focus skills. So now you can see it's amazing actually. It have already said here, like, oh, problem solving is super important, but it add all the other skills that are really important to be an amazing product manager. And yeah, it's actually really good. Team and people management, API design, yeah, all these different things. You have two options. Either you can click add all suggestions, or you can add them one by one. I think when I do this, like review first, and if you're really happy with everything, just add all. But usually I just add them one by one because then I sit and think and kind of process. So what is the difference between priority and remaining? Well, usually when I look at product manager, priority or remaining, Priority is like the most important skills to do this role. Like if you don't have these skills, it's like a little bit hard to do the role. While remaining is like, yeah, these are good to have, like it's beneficial, like a senior person most likely have it. So it helps us to divide it. And yeah, let's see here, problem solving, obviously, product roadmap. Yes, we are in Azure, so that's super nice. Data analysis, absolutely. Stakeholder management, of course. Agile, product vision, customer success is actually super important. Team of people, yeah. We don't have so much API design in this product, so I'm going to skip this one for now. But product and CS strategy, communication for strategic thinking, yes, leadership, product management, understanding competitors, super important, business analysis, emotional intelligence, be creative, innovative, and high. But I mean, amazing. So the only thing was APIs because AI didn't know we don't have APIs. I click here and I can now review the remaining. So yeah, we do Scrum, of course, journey mapping. Let's skip data government. Analytics, I think, is important. Requirements gathering to do research. I don't think risk management is super important for us here, but user research definitely is. Budget management is something I expect, and time management. I want high attention to details. This is all looking good. So in a few seconds, I created an entire new role for product manager. I get such nice help from AI. And here I have skills analyzed. It's a total 29 skills. I want to highlight something. You can, of course, click here and you can just type to AI to help you look for other skills. You can kind of define like, hey, we're working with AWS, we're doing this and that, or whatever it may be, and AI can then suggest new additional skills. You can also remove AI support, and then when you tap again, it will show all lists from your taxonomy, from your list of skills. So I actually want to add one thing here. Like I know our designers use Figma, so kind of expecting my product manager to be able to do the basics. So I'm going to add Figma as one of the skills. So this is perfect. I'm really happy with this actually. Looks super nice. So remember, prioritized is then an important skills, and then the others are, additional skills. I can now go quickly here is this relevant members, and I can review here like, okay, what people have these skills. So you will clearly see what skills they have, what they don't have. So red is what they don't have, blue is what they have, yellow means beginner, green intermediate, and black means you're an expert. So this is how I very quickly create a role. If you want to, just some extra tips here, you can go and see your personal skill gap. This is pretty cool because you can click here and quickly add your skills. If you want to, you can share this link to colleagues and they can also do the same. They can just click on any skill here and quickly add it. So it's so much easier to add skills. Also, there's something called the learning material. So here you can see any learning material connected to the new role you just built. And it's like 100% automated. MuchSkills comes with about 400 something learning material and 300 of them are free. So a lot of nice content. It's perfect, so easy to add. A few more details. If you're finished with this, you're like happy with the product manager or the role, you can launch it, meaning like make it visible to anybody else. So right now, nobody can see it. If you created this list and you want somebody to review it, click on the cog and you need to manually add the person that should be able to see it. So I can add these 3 people and they will now be able to see product manager after I click save. If you want everyone in your organization to see it, you click launch list, click launch here, and then you have to change the access right and say everyone. Now, why is this important? Like, what does this matter? Well, any employee that go to my growth and gap analysis will be able to see this role in their personal skill gap analysis. So if I go and search product, for example, here comes product owner and product manager are 2 different roles. And here you can clearly see my personal skill gap, and so can all the employees, and they can see their fit to this specific role. So that is why this matters. So this was one way to build a role. You can do it inside the product. If you want to, it is also possible to use AI to build roles outside of the product to kind of prepare and ask many people to review. So sometimes that's more practical, and I would then add the skills manually. So let me show you how that works. Here I have created a role called product manager, for example, or you have Scrum Master, or you have anything like this. We have created a ChatGPT prompt. You will find it on this page that you're viewing this video on right now. With this ChatGPT prompt, you can see that we created and added the current taxonomy, and it's like a very long prompt, as you can see. And this is actually an amazing tool to build new roles. The benefit of using it outside of MuchSkills is that here I'm actually asking AI to analyze the role and suggest skills that are missing, that are really important. So that makes a big difference. To make this prompt work better, make sure to add your company name, website, and I always add a short description about the company. So that's really, really important to do that as well. So add a short print about the company because that will help a little bit. You want to make sure that AI understand like what field you're in and what you're doing and so on. So always add that. This prompt, all you have to do is literally copy and paste it like this. So you copy, and then you can just go into AI and you just type out the role in the very end. Okay, so you just type in the role, the data in the end, and then you will have everything there that you want to do. So you just type in like, yeah, this is a role for product manager. You add the job descriptions, any information you have, and AI will process, and AI will then go in and create a list like this where it will define everything when it comes to exactly how this roles looks like. So you can see here I created many different roles. It's really nice. It's like super nice actually with all these different things that you can do. And you can really make it specific to your organization. When you create this type of prompt here, you can see a good example. It will prompt you and say, these are the skills. It will say if they are really important. And they will also highlight if it's a new skill like this. And it will also make a note, like why did it choose it? So this is how the prompt will look like. Now, a few casual and some things here to consider. It will be sometimes not like correct. So usually what I do, like, because sometimes it actually put in the wrong name or sometimes it do different things, it's not perfect. So I just want to highlight it's not perfect. Everywhere there says new skill, you always have to go in and kind of like, is this really correct? And sometimes you have to double check because it would be like, oh, writing the wrong, like it didn't get the right name. It doesn't do it perfectly always. So then I usually go back to my taxonomy, like, didn't I add that like skill, by the way? Like typically it would analytics, it would make wrong. It would call it analytical skill like thinking or something like that. It doesn't use the perfect name. But still, this is really good. I mean, it do the work so much easier. You just review, clean it up a little bit, and then you can easily share this definition with other colleagues. And these colleagues can then, in green, say this is, let's add this new skill. In red, remove something, blue for our discussion. And it's also really good to add technologies. So especially for us that are working in engineering or tech of different types, you want to add programming languages, you want to add the different technologies we use, so you can make this list complete. Once it's reviewed by all parties, we will go back to match skills and we will go to team org analysis, and we can then click here to manually add this, or sometimes I actually ask AI to help me. So I give AI like, here are the skills. So I will actually paste in all the skills and then it will create this entire suggestion. I have to add it. But once again, AI can make small mistakes. So I'm really careful when I'm adding and reviewing everything in detail. But how it would look like, I would then go in here. So I would call it this role, data engineer, and then I would say, please help me create the role data engineer specialist. And then I would say prioritize skills are, and then I go back to my description here. So here you can see all the priority skills. What I do, I simply go in and add a little filter, make sure that I have the most important in the top. And then I copy simply the most important skills like this into the analysis. And then I say remaining skills are, there we go. And then I go back here to the list and I would then go in here and I would add these skills here. So as you can see, I just tap here and it will then analyze. It will data engineer specialist expertise specialist, yes. And then it will go and create this and it will do its best based on the list there. And if everything is correct, it will then give a recommendation of the most prioritized skills, the remaining skills and all stuff. But remember, it's not always perfect. So you have to go and kind of sit and do that one by one and just double check that it's good. But great way to do it. And you review and just make sure it's all perfect. Okay, so this was in short my process. I know there's a lot of information. Please make sure you contact us in the bottom right here. You can always reach out to Match Skills. But in short, I always think about What does this company do? What are specialists? How does the organization look like? What roles do we have? I think about our main purpose, which is to help everybody to better match skills, skill levels, and skill well to jobs. I then think about, okay, I have to think about recruitment. I have to think about making clear, make it showcase behaviors and all this stuff. And I create a first suggestion of the taxonomy. I review it carefully. I do all this stuff, and I add that to Match Skills. Then the next option is that you can go into Match Skills and you can generate all the roles there. Generate the roles using AI, like externally, meaning a ChatGPT or Gemini or similar like that. And you can use our beautiful AI prompt to do this job, which is super nice. Remember, when it comes to jobs and job roles, you can expand. You don't always have to do just job roles like here. I want to highlight that I also have created a list, for example, behaviors like innovation ability, or it could be like a competence for being a consultant, or to do data-driven decision making, or it could be just leadership. There are many different ways to look at this, and you don't always have to do just roles. Think about the bigger picture and what you want to do. So, good luck, have a lot of fun. It will be absolutely amazing, and it's so cool when you see all the data inside Match Skills. I wish you an amazing day.